Morning, Graham. How are you?
Fantastic to be on the call with you. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for taking your time with me too. I'm trying to get everything working here. There we go.
There we go. You succeeded. Yeah, you got a win already today. That's great.
Getting out of bed is a win sometimes too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think you watched my video, so that saves us a bit of time. The purpose of this call is for us to find out how we can help each other in this business. So,
Yeah,
will you start off by telling me your journey into real estate, why real estate, and what I can do to help you?
sure. So, um, I'll start off with I'll just give you a quick history of my background because that's where real estate ties into. But so I grew up in a family construction company, and my father started his business by buying land and developing it, subdividing it, and selling it off. Um, so that was many, 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 many years ago. Um,
Extra
but
man.
then the company evolved, and we went, got into commercial and kind of government type work. And I stayed with the company until I was probably, I think, about 21. Um, Went to college, got my accounting degree. Then right after college, I went to work for Coldwell Banker Relocation.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that Coldwell Banker had somebody who provided that service, but it was an interesting experience.
Hmm.
Um, and my wife and I moved from Connecticut to New Hampshire in 2000. I bought a piece of land up there to subdivide. It was, I think, roughly 110 acres. And at the same time, I had also started a home inspection business. And so I was actually a licensed home inspector in New Hampshire for 7 years. Um, while we were doing the development, which in the end didn't go through because it was a small town in New Hampshire, and the people in town who moved there from other places got what they wanted, and they didn't want anybody else getting what they wanted. So
Mm. Yeah.
the zoning board, shot it down. Um, but when my wife and I moved up too in 2000, we actually tore down the old Victorian farm home that we had bought, and we built a super high efficiency solar home.
Oh,
And if you actually go to my Facebook page, the house that's on that page is the house that I built.
oh wow.
Um, and I say I built. I mean, I was the general contractor. But I did the foundation work, I did the form work, and we did the pouring, and I helped, in every aspect of it with with the subcontractors. But I did all the finish work in the house.
Mm.
I did all the flooring and the finished electric and plumbing and
Nice.
tile work and
Yeah.
trim and all that other stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, so we did that, and then while I was doing home inspections, I came across. I don't remember how I came across it, but energy efficiency,
Mm.
and I took some courses for that, and I got a couple of certifications. And at the time for New Hampshire, one of the certifications, I was the sixth one in the state to get it, and the other one, I was the seventh one in the state to get it.
Mm.
And so I added a energy efficiency component to my home inspection work.
Oh, nice.
And then about a year after that, in one of the professional organizations that I was in, local organizations, an ad came up for a position with the state of New Hampshire for what was called a weatherization technical specialist. And all that meant was I was an inspector.
Mm.
Um, and my job was to go out and monitor the work that was done and make sure that the work that our contractors were charging us for was done in accordance with federal regulations, and it was actually installed work, and they weren't billing us for stuff that they shouldn't have been doing or didn't do.
Yeah.
So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I ended up managing the entire program for another year and a half. The funding for the program went back down to its kind of base levels, and that wasn't going to support my position with the state, and so I started looking for something else.
I see. Yeah.
And I went to Maryland. I got a position in Maryland where I was a project manager for the state's energy efficiency programs, but I was on the multifamily team.
All right.
And so that was in 2013. I've been with that program ever since, and I moved my way up, and I'm now the senior program manager of that program. And so my life has been around real estate. My dad has, kind of bought and sold things, and sometimes as investment, sometimes just for personal purposes. Um,
Yeah.
during COVID, towards the end of COVID, we actually sold our house in Maryland. We moved back up to New Hampshire, um, but I bought a condo in Maryland, and knowing that after COVID I'd have to get in the office at some point. They weren't gonna let us be on permanent telework. There was no way. So
Yeah.
bought a condo, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and started house hacking it before I even knew there was a word for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was shortly after that. Well, actually, it was because of that my wife agreed that it might not be a bad idea to maybe try to get back into real estate. Um, we had owned one rental house before, and the tenants left it in a less than desirable condition, and that totally turned her off from doing real estate.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah. That's
but
a common thing.
right, yeah. But the situation that we have here, I'm actually in the condo this morning. Um, it worked out really well, and it's a very transient part of Maryland, and so we figured, we could maybe replicate this. Problem is, like everywhere, you can't buy something on market and have it cash flow.
Mm.
Um, so I talked to one of our customers at work, um, who's got several multifamily properties, and said if I was going to get involved in investing in real estate, where should I go? And he said bigger pockets.
Mm.
So went to bigger pockets, started doing stuff there. Came across Pace in one of the podcasts, and that was um, that was probably early last year. And then it was finally in June of last year that I joined Sub Two, and then I joined Gator in November.
Very good. Wow, what an interesting journey. The multifamilies that you mentioned, how many doors do those have typically? Is it small multifamilies, large multifamilies?
The average project that comes through our programs is 100 units.
Oh, very good. Okay, because that's the space. I asked that question because that's the space I'm in.
Yeah,
So maybe if you come across stuff, you may be able to let me know, and of course you can be part of the deal. You probably understand all the setup, how we do it, the GPs, LPs, and how it all
I
works.
I actually I will say I don't fully. I have a general concept because even in college in accounting, that's part of the business courses you take through accounting is kind of understanding business structures. I understand general partners. I understand um, silent partners, and I understand that type of stuff, but I don't necessarily understand kind of the different roles and how you get involved in it.
Oh, very good. Well,
So
that you set me up now because
I,
I created a YouTube channel specifically for that. The
oh, okay.
idea of creating a community of bringing people that are interested in this space, the
Yeah.
multifamily space. There's an educational thread on there. I publish a video every day. The whole idea is to demystify the whole team game of multifamilies. So.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
would I would very much encourage you to be a part of that community with your background. You can bring a lot to the table and also participate. And there's many opportunities to make serious wealth and reach your
Right.
financial goals in a much shorter period of time than doing the single families, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You've
Yeah.
already discovered that, worked that out, I can tell. So
Right.
I'm also going to bring out a book. I'm nearing completion, so it'll be out shortly. Demystifying commercial real estate with the
Okay.
multifamily investing. So we'll have that book available to the community as well. So
Great.
And one of the other things I do with my YouTube channel is I publish these videos so we can get to know each other as well. You can see you don't have to interview hundreds of people like I do every day. Well, I 5 or 6 a day, So I put these videos on there as well, so you can see who's who
Yeah.
and who I've interviewed and things. So it can leverage your time. You can
Yeah.
watch
Right.
the video whenever you like, right? And
Right.
see who's who in the community.
Yep.
I'm sure you already know it's who you know, not what you know, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah.
we should
Well, like I think maybe Pace was saying at another point, it's not even who you know, it's who knows you.
yes, that's right. You have to be visible. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And that's why I'm doing this as well. So
Yeah.
you can leverage that platform, very much like you to like and subscribe our videos if you like. Let me I can give you that link.
Great.
And then you can always book a call with me anytime you like,
Okay.
Say that because I do the Calendly, which helps me organize my time, So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, let me
Absolutely.
do that. And we go from 100 units or more for scalability purposes, so we can do the professional management. We look for C class buildings in a B class location. Look for
Okay.
value add and reducing expenses and giving a good return on your investment. Uh, you
Do you do any low income properties or affordable properties, or is it all market rate?
say that again. I'm sorry. I
Do,
didn't
do,
quite.
do you do you buy low income properties, or are they just all market rate as far as the rents go?
We like occupancy from 70 to 85%. So a C class in a B class location. So we're not looking for highly distressed properties or redevelopments or anything like that. So we're looking to give investors a good return on their money. So I'm not sure if that's answered your question there. Did that
In terms of like affordability restrictions, Section 8 housing or other types of subsidized
Yeah,
housing.
we probably wouldn't look at Section 8. There's a lot of problems with that, evicting tenants on Section 8s. I made a whole bunch of mistakes. That's why I wrote this book, Cautionary Tales from Real Estate Investing, the
Yeah,
first time round. You saw that from the video, right?
right.
Um, and one of those is scalability. I did have Section 8, and they have the mentality, oh, the government going to support me. I'm on food stamps, they pay my rent. I don't have to do anything. And if the rents go up, they don't pay that extra bit, and you end up evicting them and losing a lot of money. And they're very hard to evict to Section 8 as
They
well.
are, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. They're,
So,
they're hard to evict unless
yeah.
they're in default of kind of their quote unquote contract with their vouchers. So
Yeah. So we always the way I played it, it was, if they're breaking other rules, being a disruption to other tenants, which they often are. So you can usually use that.
right,
They're a nuisance and you have to call the police and things like that.
yeah,
I've had everything. That's why I wrote this book. To help others avoid all those mistakes. I think I trod on every landmine there is.
right, right. And
First
it was a little while ago that I had watched your video. And how long have you been doing it for?
Over 22 years now. Yeah.
Okay,
I've had my real estate license as well. So I've done the retail side of it and I've done every strategy out there. Spent well over 6 figures on my education as well. So I've been in a lot of programs, came across Pace over three years ago now. Joined
okay,
Gator the second time round and now Elite Gator. I've been on 3 of his teams over the past 2 or 3 years. I did the first Elephant Challenge, and then I joined Angie Milanazzo's team on the acquisitions, and then REI Conveyor Belt with Shad Najumi helped him on acquisitions as well, and Zoom calls. So
yeah, yeah,
done a lot in the community as well. So,
yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
yes,
awesome.
yeah.
I reached out to you originally I don't remember if it was like one of the Gator semesters for underwriting or if it was another Zoom, but in your contact stuff, you had mentioned EMD, and
Mm.
that caught my attention because I'm looking to do EMD and EMD more so in the commercial space.
Oh, very good.
Um,
Because ours are serious. They start at six figures and go up to $1 million because
yeah,
we go from 10 million to 100 million and we need 1%. So,
yeah,
if we're doing 100 million, that's $1 million EMD.
right, right.
So, I mean, I don't know how much you can handle in that.
I don't. I can tell you in a couple of days because I'm going through credit building right now.
Okay.
I'm working with Robert Ingermarson,
Okay.
and it'll be over 100,000 that I'll be able to get because I've got pretty decent credit.
Mm,
But he thinks, excuse me, they think they'll be able to start funding me either today or early next week.
yeah.
So
And the other little thing, I mean, you can watch the videos and get the lowdown on this. I'd encourage you to do that, put in comments and things if there's anything missing, because I'd like to do further videos, of course.
yeah,
Um, with the EMD, it works a little bit different. So you do get paid at closing, quarterly distributions, and a share in the profits because you roll in that original, say, 100,000 as an LP position, but you do get paid your fee at closing, your
yeah,
quarterly distributions, and a share in the profit. So you're getting three streams of income
yeah.
as a gator in the large multifamily space.
And and the EMD, the principal is returned. Is that what happens, or does that get put into the deal?
That gets put into the deal as an LP position.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Rolls into it, so you get the yield and the good rate of return. The
Yeah.
projects are typically 3 to 5 years, so your money will be tied up that time, but you are getting distributions.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do that yet because these will be with credit cards and stuff that I need to be able to pay back off of. But
Ooh,
the
okay.
idea, the idea is to be
That's
able
not the
to.
way to do it, actually. Don't do it that
No.
way. No, 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 don't do it
Right.
that way. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Very expensive way of money that you
Well,
can do much better.
they'll be 0% for 12 to 18 months, but they still have to get paid back. And if they don't get paid back, then it's
Yeah,
really expensive to be using it.
yeah.
So
I see business as credit for everyday incidentals, literally spending on consumables for your business and things like that. I
right.
don't see it for lending. I'm not seeing it. I've been in Elite Gator for a while, since it started, the Elite
Yeah.
Gator. So I hear people talking about that all the time. That
Yeah.
it's very, very hard to get a sufficient credit line to be realistic when it comes to lending. Is the best ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'm looking for currently is to be able to um, do EMD short term, and then take that return and then turn it around and rinse and repeat to
Mm.
start building it up so they don't have to rely as much on credit
Yeah.
going forward, and I'll have my own money that I can start doing
Yeah.
that stuff
I
with.
know
So
everybody thinks that, but finding EMD deals for a start is very difficult. Just
yeah,
EMDs. And then people then go to transactional funding, which is fine. But that's a lot of competition in that space. Then you end up with, okay, there's lots of PML opportunities. And
right,
it's that because that's way more risky.
that's right, that's right,
And your money's
that's
tied
right.
up much longer. So you'll go down that path, I guess, and you'll find out.
I'll figure out what works. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
The thing I have to do is make sure that I'm getting into safe deals so that I
That's
know I get
right.
my money back.
Yes, especially if your strategy is to build up your cash, you're starting from a low position. You want
Right,
to be on the very, very safe side because
right.
you can get knocked out of the game, and
Yep,
and then you're in the wilderness for a while, and you don't
that's
want
right.
that to happen. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Don't want that to
yeah.
happen.
Right.
But yeah,
Ask me how I know,
I,
'cause I've done it, made those mistakes, right?
but that's one of the great things about the community is,
Yeah,
so many people have so many different experiences that they get to share that, in theory, unlike our kids who don't want to listen to us and
right.
want to learn things on their own,
Yeah.
we know other people have experiences that we don't, and we want to learn from those experiences and not do it ourselves.
That's right. That's right. It's much easier. My father always said, and I always remember it. He says, two things in life: you either learn the easy way or you learn the hard way. You
Yeah,
choose, you know.
that's
Whenever
right.
he would give me some advice, he'd always back it up with that. You know, you can learn the easy way or the hard way.
That's right.
Your choice.
I'll have to start it's very true, and I'll have to start using that on my 19-year-old.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah,
been a delight meeting you, Scott. I'm sorry we've run out of time, but here's the good news. You can book a call with me anytime using my
yeah,
monthly link. Do check out my YouTube channel. I'd love you to be part of that community. With your background, I can see you can bring a lot to the table,
yeah,
can help each other on this journey and reach our financial goals, if not all of our goals, you know.
right,
Like
right.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I'll share too is, I just got into cost segregation as well.
Okay, very good. That will help a lot. So yeah, we
Yeah,
need that. We need that a lot when it comes to the large multifamilies. Yeah,
and I'm a sales rep. I don't do the actual calculations myself, but I work for one of the national, largest national companies that do it, so
fantastic. Yeah, well, we might consult you on that and figure that out. So
that'll be
fine.
awesome. Yeah, like, we gotta go. I gotta get to my dentist appointment,
Yeah.
but I got your link here for your YouTube channel, and I'll definitely check it
Yes.
out.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. All right. Well, have a great day. Thank you for
Yeah, thank
joining
you.
me.
Great to
Yeah.
connect with you,
And
Graham.
you. And you. Bye bye for now.